What's up? Happy Monday. Hey, y'all. I got my leftover from the weekend for lunch today. That's what's great about leftovers. I'm not usually a fan of leftovers, but it's good for like a day like today. Like today is a Monday. It's a holiday. There's not a lot going on. It's pretty chill. I'm super lazy, so I didn't have to do anything. I just had to warm it up. What's going on? How are y'all? It's hot. It's Eating Disorder Awareness Week. Eating Disorders Awareness Week. NEDA Week. The National Eating Disorder Association, they started this. It's been a while. It's been like probably, I don't know the history. It's been a long time. They do this. Hi, Christina. It's a great way to like spread awareness, advocacy, because eating disorders are just so underfunded in so like research, medically, in treatment, advocacy, right? So it's a week where everybody just tries to, so you're going to see a lot of stuff online. If you follow any like eating disorder people or accounts or spaces, you're going to see a lot about this week, just because, right? Everybody's out there talking about eating disorders. You're trying to spread awareness. I missed y'all. I wasn't here the last couple of weeks. I wanted to be here because we go live every Monday. But my business, our private practice is expanding. And then so one week we had to go look at our new space. We're adding yoga classes, yoga for eating disorders, trauma-informed yoga, meditation type classes, right? We're adding that. So we were looking at the space during GRUB and GAB. And then the week after that, I was chatting with a potential new therapist because our area just doesn't have enough therapists, unfortunately. So there's such a need for there's just such a need. So I'm trying to help bring more therapists, right, to practice to the area so we can help treat more people with eating disorders and anxiety and trauma, depression, stress, life stuff. We don't just treat eating disorders, but that's our thing. What's new in y'all's world now that I'm back? This fried rice is so good. I think cake is a great way to study. You're studying for an anatomy test. Man. I remember, so did I take that in college? I don't think I took anatomy in college, but I did take it in high school, and it was taught by a coach. Now, I don't know if this stereotype still exists, but there was this stereotype when I was in high school that if you take a class taught by a coach, it's kind of like a breezy or easier class. No offense if there are any coach teachers, but that was the stereotype when I was in school. So I thought this class was going to be just that. It was taught by this coach. And it was probably, with the exception of algebra, it was probably the hardest class I took. You're a first year med student. Woo! Then you have a lot of that to learn. Good luck to you. That's awesome. Thank you for everything you do. Oh, well, thanks for being here, hanging out with us. You're from New Zealand. Hello, I'm in Texas. New Zealand, that sounds real cool and exotic compared to, where I'm at here in Texas. You just had a bagel and egg. Yum. 2 of my favorites. To prep for an interview. Ooh. For a job? For a program? What is this an interview for? A new job. At Princeton University. Good luck. Everyone, take a moment. We're sending you good luck, vibes, and thoughts. If you pray, whatever your thing is, for this interview. You got it. You're learning about the brain. Oh my gosh. So neuroscience, that was legit the hardest class I've ever taken in all of the million freaking classes I've ever taken. So at Baylor, where I took the class in undergrad, where it was so hard, and I still don't know if this is a thing, the neuroscience department was chaired by like 3 different people. Basically, all the professors chaired the neuroscience department. I think there was probably a power struggle there, but whatever. And so this class was taught by all 3 professors. Cool, right? Except I think a lot of college is learning how to test for the professor, right? Like you get your first test and you get your feedback and, you can then kind of learn like, okay, what is this professor, like how do they test? What are they looking for? It helps you, I think, adapt to study going forward. You never got that opportunity because as soon as you took a test, the new professor was coming to teach the next section. So you got different like feedback. It was a totally different test. Like one would be multiple choice, one would be essay. You had no idea what was going on. It was really hard. I did okay. I had to do okay. I had to get like a good grade because it was like it was also like one of those what do you call it, like a class you had to take, right, to keep going into the psych department, but it was really hard. There was a show on Netflix called 20 something, filmed in Texas. Is it still on? I may have to. What's it about? I can't handle adulting. I'm interested in it, but is it like a serious drama? The only drama I watch is housewives drama. Like I can't deal with real drama, like human drama. Just give me, these fake bitches. I'll take their drama. You're wanting to become a psychiatrist. That's awesome. We, especially here where I'm at in Texas, I think it's probably a national issue, honestly, but it's we need more like psychiatrists. It's a big problem. So good for you. Thank you. You wanted to be a neuroscientist, not anymore. I hope my story did not change your mind. I doubt that. But like that was just this one class. Neuroscience is really amazing. It's a great it just, man, the brain is like obviously a super complex organ. And so to learn about it, it's just, whew, in one class to then have to like study, man, that's pretty cool. Dope. Good for you. Tough stuff. It's a reality show. about people in their 20s living their life. Well, that sounds exactly like the kind of show that I love. I grew up in a small country town, like real small Texas town. And so we didn't have cable, but my dad, like, this was also like, I'm old, y'all. So like we had to have a satellite in one of those like huge satellites. We just had, like, we had to get, like, we couldn't get normal TV out in the boonies. We had to get, right, like cable satellite TV to watch TV. So I was raised on MTV and the reality show. What was that? The Real World, right? Like, y'all, I was obsessed with that show and I wanted to be on reality TV so bad. So I'm down for a reality TV show. That sounds right up my alley. 20 something. Okay, I'm gonna check that out. So in Estonia, it's a problem with mental health therapists. I would like to know a place that probably is well served mental health resource wise. I think it's probably a big problem. You know, we are just starting to like normalize mental health treatment, the fact that everybody has mental health. For so long, mental health was just a thing for, you know, those outliers who had really clinical, like, the really sick people, right? But we're now learning and seeing that mental health, like, we all have it. Every single person has a mental story, right? We've all been through things. We've all experienced things. We've learned things. We've been conditioned, right or wrong or bad for us. And so we all have mental health because we all have feelings. So now that we're getting that information, you know, I think more people might be, I don't know, I hope the field is changing, which means more people want to come into the field. But man, it's tough. We need more people. If anybody is a young person, or if anybody is like considering, what do I do with my life? Go be a mental health professional. Like, it's a lot of schooling, unfortunately, but you can do it. It's really fun because you learn a lot about yourself. Basically, you learn about yourself and then all the people, and you get to understand why everybody's so fucked up in your life. You only have one eating disorder clinic. Oh, yeah, it's terrible. Canada, right? It's very bad. But see, here's the thing. We all have mental health, right? Every single one of us. So it's impossible to say you can't be in the field because you struggle, because all of us in the field struggle because everybody has mental health. I do think that to do this work, you need to be in a place where you're, you know, stable. But I have to do daily things for myself. I struggle with anxiety, depression, have a history of an eating disorder. So like I have to, you know, like I have a history with it, right? I take care of myself, and I have to make sure that I take care of myself so that I can stay, like, you know, maybe above it, or have, that doesn't mean that there's still feelings. The most well-adjusted, mentally well people still have feelings. So we still have to learn how to like take care of ourselves in that way, right? So if you can do that, then you can be an amazing psychiatrist, therapist, social worker, you know, mental health clinician. It's this belief that like we can all feel better in some way, that you can, just because you're struggling, right? You don't have to stay in that struggle. You don't. You can I don't know what that better looks like because it's going to look different for every single person. But you're just allowed to, like, you can want better. It is a lot of work. And I think for so long, our world has been kind of teaching us to be, like, numb to that, our own, like, conscious work, our own selves, right? Like, it's been like we have to work and do all this other bullshit, so we don't have time to pay attention to ourselves. And that's the problem. That's what's so sad. And that's what I'm hoping to see change. I'm trying to change those messages. I'm changing that story and that conditioning in my life. Do I prefer to do one-on-one sessions in person or online? Oh, you told your therapist? Yeah. I prefer in person. Like, if I had to choose, if you lived in my area, right? Because I do have an office, a beautiful office. It's fun. So if you lived within driving distance to me, I would say, hey, let's come into the office and let's do this in person. Because I like in person. But there's also a lot to be said for virtual. You know, like, I created a virtual space that's essentially my office, right? So I can do virtual work. Some people don't have the ability to, like, you know, get a special place to do therapy, and you don't want to just be, like, on the couch or, you know, around other people. I have clients who are, like, in college, right? You don't want your dorm room, your roommates hearing what you're saying. So yeah, that's a factor. I think that in-person virtual, I was interviewed by the news a couple weeks ago about virtual versus in-person, and I really don't want to say one's better than the other, really, because there are benefits to both, and I love that virtual makes it just more accessible to people, because there are therapists who aren't in some places. There are some places who don't have eating disorder therapists, right? And so, you know, if you can't get them in person, is virtual an option to get you the support that you need? You know, how can you make that work? What I'm eating looks good. It is good. It's this, in my town, it's called Walk Express. It's this great, like, it's good. This is fried rice. You like online because you can be honest and open. You don't have to pull yourself together, right? To get on the bus, to get on the subway. There's a lot of commuting issues for people. People don't have cars. So I know when I was doing therapy virtually with my therapist, I liked that I could be in my pajamas. I was very, like, relaxed and comfortable in my space. But again, I'm able to create a very safe, private space for me. I think that is why therapy worked for so long in office, right? Because the office also becomes like a safe place for clients, and some place where clients can kind of only, like, that may be the only place where clients can get away. So that's a value too. And if you need that, that's important that you know that about yourself, right? That you might want and benefit from in person. Let's try to, what does that look like? See if you can get that. Now you end a session and go cuddle your dog. Exactly. Great question. Rex on TikTok. How do you know if you struggle with an eating disorder? Well, if you're asking that question, that's probably a red flag. Later this week, if you follow me on any social media, I have a a post coming out that is going to give my favorite screening tool. It's a peer-reviewed, evidence-based screening tool. I'm going to put that out there for y'all. And that's probably the first place to start, right? Is kind of like, are you identifying with, are we seeing, right, some risk factors? Are we seeing some things that could be problematic? If those things are existing, then you probably have an issue. You have a problem. And then it's best to go follow up with a professional, your doctor. You could go to recovery-academy.com. You can go to National Eating Disorder Association.org. Because then you want to kind of go to the next step and then meet with somebody, not just anybody, but maybe then you go meet with somebody who is familiar with eating disorders. A lot of programs, right? If you go to if you just Google eating disorder treatment, right? A treatment program will pop up. You can even call them. They do assessments. They're going to want to maybe, at some places, they might, recommend you to their program, right? But also they may be able to also recommend you to outpatient support or options, right? There are so many. I get kind of frustrated because people say there's not resources. I know that resources are limited, but there really is help. It exists. There is help out there. And so it's not that you don't have an eating disorder, right? You are struggling, but just because help isn't easy to find doesn't mean that you're not struggling, doesn't mean that you don't deserve help, right? So then I think you're worth the care and the support and the effort that it takes to try to find help, to try to find, resources, putting together a team. And so, it'd be great if you could have a therapist who specializes, a doctor who specializes, a dietitian who specializes. It'd be great if you could have all these professionals who specialize in eating disorders. They exist, but they don't exist everywhere, and I know they're expensive. And so what if you have a doctor, there's family, there's peers, there's support, there's teachers, there's mentors, there's, a therapist, right? And there's what I have created, the Recovery Academy, which is how I try to make this information accessible to people, to help people, right? And so it really is me giving you guys everything I know about treating eating disorders. It's the information I give to my clients, what I teach them, what I share with them. I put all of that on a video online format to try to make it easier, right, for people to try to get their hands on this information, because awareness and learning is a first and important tool, right, to help you on your recovery journey. So with that being said, I actually have a coupon code. I have a Recovery Hope bundle. It's got 5 of my eating disorder courses. So it's 5 courses in one. If you use the coupon code EDHOPE2022, you get it for half off. Maybe you just want something for free. You're kind of I don't know. I have a free course on there for you too. So you go to recovery-academy.com. That's where you can find me. That's where you can, find all of these resources, free stuff, or I hope it's affordable options too, because it isn't available to everybody. And if you're really needing support and you're I'm ready to do this, reach out and, maybe I can help. If not, right, what's out there. So I, guys, have to go finish my lunch. I'm working on, is the code on the webpage? No. The code is EDHOPE2022. No, you can reach out to treatment anywhere. The problem with treatment in some places is insurance. Now, you're in Canada, so your healthcare situation might be different. Well, is different. So here, yes, you could go to treatment in another state, right? You could go, like, if I've sent clients to Illinois, clients have gone to Florida. There are treatment centers all over the country, and you could go there. Now, some insurance won't allow that to happen. You have to stay in your state, which I know complicates things. And then insurance also sometimes wants you to be close to home. And I understand the reasoning for that is, you got to return to your home and your support, right? So we want, you want people to be able to be around and be supportive and part of your treatment program if possible. And the further away you are, the harder that is. However, again, sometimes it's really good for you to get far away. People have gone to other countries and sought treatment. I don't know the process for that. I'm not suggesting that is easy, because I imagine there are visas and all kinds of official things that you have to do. But I am saying you're worth it, right? And so you're worth the advocacy, you're worth the fight, you're worth the effort to fill out paperwork, make phone calls, talk to people, whatever those things that you got to do to find that treatment. I know that it's not easy, and I know that's not right. It shouldn't be so hard. That doesn't mean that you don't deserve, right, to get help and try, right, and get support, because you need it and you deserve it, and it's there for you. Yeah, yep. People on Instagram are saying how they've gone to different places. They are in the States, though. All right, so the code on the Recovery Academy for the Recovery Hope bundle, 5 courses in 1, is EDHOPE 2022. The free stuff, recovery-academy.com. You can also find the courses in the store at recovery-academy.com. You provided so much hope and encouragement. Aw. Thank you. Well, I'm glad y'all were here. I hope to be back on Monday. I plan to be here. Like I was saying before, life is kind of interesting as we build this new space for us, and add members to our team. It's really exciting. But I plan to be here. Y'all are important. I enjoy this time. We hope no weird things like that come up. But if not, 12:15 on Mondays. Y'all are great. See you soon. Bye, y'all.